Well, I think it's been a long, tiring day for all of you all, hearing a lot of stuff, seeing a lot of visuals. I think most of you people would like to be on the shop floor or in the offices. But I think what you'll have all learned throughout the day has been pretty important. Am I right? No? Ah, that's good, that's good. Well, just to give you a brief introduction, Forbes Facility Services is part of the Shapurji Palunji company. We are part also of Eureka Forbes, okay? And this company was formed, Forbes Facility Services was formed in 2004, okay? We were essentially, Eureka Forbes was into selling of equipments, but subsequently customers started asking us, why don't you all also provide the manpower? Because most of you might be aware that providing manpower and providing the equipments are two very important things. A lot of our good friends here earlier have spoken about the processes, the cleaning, the machines, the chemicals, and at the end of the day we also deal with manpower, because without them we can't do our work. Just a short introduction about Forbes, okay, which is there for you all to see. I'll skip most of the slides. Eureka Forbes has been in operation since '82, present globally right now. A number of products which we have, which most of you might be using also, is the aqua guards and the vacuum cleaners for your usage, factories, home. As I mentioned to you, Forbes Facility Services, 100% subsidiary of Eureka Forbes, established in 2004, and in 2007 it became Forbes Facility Services. This is the prime vision of the company: a happy, healthy, safe and pollution-free environment built on trust and lasting relationships with our customers. Of course, we have a vision to be the leaders in the field of facility services, to encompass non-core business activities of our customers, targeted segments and high growth with lifetime relationships with the stakeholders. This is something which we would like to share with you. What we are into: facility management, we look after commercials, hospitality, healthcare, entertainment, shopping avenues, retail, office premises, industries, and non-commercial. We tell the customer, which I'm sure many of you also talk about, is your non-core activities are our core business. I think all of you here in the facility management would be sharing the same views, right? These are the businesses that we are into: mechanized housekeeping, industrial catering, technical services, hospitality services, plumbing, carpentry, other ancillary services. This is how we go about our operation module: facility management, solutions architecting and system integration, domain expertise. Segments are automotive, healthcare, petroleum, power, education. We also operate through an external franchisee module. We have partnership, our group company with Eureka Forbes. We have our services in 46 cities across the country. We operate through a SAP system, which facilitates easier management for accountings and everything. These are some of the compliances that we follow, certifications. These are some of our esteemed customers, if you see. We have people like Imsofer, Bharat Forge, Mahindra's, Cummins, Virgin, Hummingbird, Ginger. We also do all their projects. I'll come now to the presentation that we are talking about: the need to outsource services for effective results, achievements and shortfalls. Though I've kept shortfalls as short as possible, But I'm sure most of you will agree with me that we have a lot in common where shortfalls are concerned. Okay, achievements, yes. Again, I'll come back to that lady over here, though early. The most easiest thing is to change the services. That's actually the most hardest thing to do. Okay, because many times I talk to the clients and I ask them, I said, it's better the known devil than an unknown angel. Okay, coming back to earlier what Colonel Prem Anand and Dr. Raut and of course the gentleman Mr. Sawant, right, from Suzlon mentioned, cleaning. And I was very happy to realize that when Colonel said cleanliness is godliness, this young lady asked me in the morning, what do you think of cleaning? And I said the same sentence. And that's something what we have grown up with. We have been taught from birth what Mr. Sawant said, from birth we are clean and given to the mother. And somewhere along the line we forget the basic concept that we have grown up with, cleaning. Why? Have we become so negligent or very complacent to the fact that we need to clean or to keep our places clean? We might all put up our hands and say that no, we clean, we are clean, but the places we are to clean, those people are not in tune with us. Is that the case? I look at it this way, cleaning is an important indicator of a company's culture. I'm sure many of you will agree with me, though some may not. But cleaning indicates the company's modernity and vision to change. It's a measure of collective freedom in which we celebrate a sense of respect for human beings and from which we can start to plan the future. This is what companies are supposed to be talking about. Cleaning, in a modern and possibly more refined interpretation, embodies the sense of a state of positive behavior. Do you all agree with me on this? Yes. I don't think. Thank you. Clean encompasses a wide gamut of activities: clean play, clean business, clean look, I won't read the next one, and clean conscience. Okay, because that's a hot topic. It's a measure of collective freedom in which we celebrate a sense of respect for human beings and from which we can, again, sorry that's a repetition, three main indicators that precisely determine the degree of development or underdevelopment of a place is maintenance of the plant, open spaces and infrastructure. Everybody is into facility management, and all those who are from the industry will surely agree with me that this is what is the core of our business. When a client has visitors, the first thing they want is housekeeping done. The first thing that they look for is a clean place. And the most important thing, they don't mind if we shove the dirt under some furniture or something or the other. Right? Second thing is what they look at is open spaces. All these MNCs which have come into India who talk about cleaning, the first thing that they have, any visitors coming, the first thing that those visitors look for, how clean is the place, how well is it maintained, or they reject. Another thing which happens is a lot of their rejection, the material rejection, is attributed towards the cleaning or lack of cleaning rather. They blame us. And that is something which we need to look at and talk about. If the surroundings of the workplace are dirty, we perceive them as acceptable and feel more authorized to maintain bad behavior, or worse, develop a culture, indifference and non-caring attitude towards the problem. It is undeniable that an organization that offers clean and well-lit areas with proper production facilities and right infrastructure which is well planned and maintained is an organization where individuals are more inclined towards interactions. Two more key aspects of value cleaning: expertise, like Mr. Sunil spoke in the morning, Mr. Prashant spoke later on, and of course Mr. Ramesh spoke much later. Is expertise in the use of the products and the training. We all want to be cleaning people, but are we doing the right thing? We spoke of, Mr. Ramesh spoke of sinner cycle, which is so very apt. We talk of time, temperature, mechanical action, chemical action. And ultimately is the process, the method. We use anything wrong in all that and the wrong process, we end up back to square one. And then the client is unhappy. I spoke earlier of cleaning. Cleaning has to be looked at as an absolute value, not something where we have spoken of earlier as the last item on the buyer's budget or the purchaser's budget. Because this is where we are always struggling. We struggle to get our allocations towards the budget for facility management. Why? Because companies look at production, they look at infrastructure, they look at everything else but the housekeeping budgets. I think it was Ramesh who spoke of 0.2% to 0.5%. But I don't even believe that they are using that much of their revenue. I don't think it could be even 0.1%. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But it's definitely much lower than what we expect. And sad to say, I'll rather come to the shortfall. One of the most important things is today we are facing difficult times in all the industries, especially the automobile industry. And unfortunately, the first thing that they look at is cutting down on the housekeeping budgets. If I'm wrong, please put up your hands. The first thing they do is cut down. And what do they ask for? He mentioned cut down manpower, cut down the chemicals, cut down the consumables, or don't use machines. I mean, what do you want then? We are talking about cleaning hygiene solutions. Now I think we need to use the right way, and we need to really explain to them, make them aware that they need to change their attitude towards housekeeping or facility management. What happens when they are outsourcing? We are talking about outsourcing. It's cost effective. Actually, outsourcing adds a lot of profitability to their business. Because when you outsource, a significant impact on the bottom line, immediate cost savings in part because of expert cleaning people who are got the knowledge of what they are doing. They get more done in less time. Okay. A professional maintenance company procures optical pricing on equipment supplies. They don't have to, the customer does not have to waste time in negotiating all those things. It's the housekeeping facility people who do that. Outsourced cleaning services benefit the administration, healthcare, employee status verification. All these things are taken care of by the facility company. Okay. These time-intensive tasks become the responsibility of the building service contractor. Responsive cleaning service contractors understand the many options when considering outsourced cleaning services. A janitorial company will work hard to get and keep the business. I think that is what we all look for. We want to maintain business and not be changed. Nobody likes to lose their business. Likewise, a sizable company can adjust to accommodate the changing needs quite easily, whether adding people or at peak times. I'm sure again everybody will agree with me that all of a sudden in the evening we get intimation from the client saying that tomorrow there's a big visit. So we put more manpower, we try to clean, we try to put more machines and do that. So the next day it's good, and then sad to say the housekeeping company is forgotten after the visit. Am I right? Any people from the industry over here, from the hardcore industry where we are providing services, who will not agree with me? Experience, again, outsourcing cleaning services to professional cleaning company means you get better work done in less time. Professional cleaning company will employ the most advanced and efficacious methods to get the job done right. Okay. Industry-specific cleaning like healthcare services or green options, professional company can help you explore choices. Transfer of management-intensive duties to service contractors. Managing of your cleaning operations become the contractor's responsibility. Staffing issues, many companies outsource such things like the pantry boy, the operator, the front desk operator, all these things are taken care of by the facility company. With someone else handling these responsibilities, you can lighten your load, and your staff and the person concerned can concentrate on their core duties. Transfer of liability insurance costs to the cleaning service contractor. Due to the nature of the work, there are specific liabilities associated with cleaning staff. All these require money and time. This is outsourced. I mentioned this in very, very bold. In today's specialized business environment, more and more companies are turning to outsourcing to handle parts of their operation that are outside the scope of their business. Janitorial or building maintenance services are one such area where a towering workload, tight budgets, and lack of expertise make outsourcing an important option to consider. I hope I'm there with everybody, or rather everybody is with me. I don't hear yeses. Then we'll do it the English way, we'll say A, not A. I don't, you know, it's very often that I've been into seminars, and at such moments at the end of the day when you have had a good lunch and everything, I've also fallen asleep. So this time I'm on the other side. I don't mean anybody is doing that, but what are achievements for outsourcing? Eliminate problems associated with using your own employees to tackle building maintenance. Shift the management and liability to a knowledgeable outside contractor. Eliminate costs associated with procurement, maintenance, inventory, equipment, supplies, uniforms. All these things are taken care of by the housekeeping company. Getting expert service with the most up-to-date equipments and products. By the way, I have been associated with cleaning for the past 16 years. As I said, I've been with Forbes for the past 2 years plus, and I've been earlier with Eureka Forbes for hardcore equipments, which earlier my friends from Kacha were sharing. I've been associated with industrial cleaning machines, the ones which you have seen out here. So when we look at cleaning, we are talking about the right equipment to be used. Please bear in mind, very often it happens that we try to compromise to suit the budget of the customer by using the wrong equipment. That is something which if you want to survive in the business, you need to look at the right equipment for cleaning. Please do not compromise on this, whether it is the industry or whether it's a facility company. You have to use the right equipment. Like Mr. Sunil said, the right accessory, and of course, like what Mr. Ramesh said, the right chemical with the right dosings and everything, because that's when you'll get the best results. When it comes to janitorial service, the best and most efficient cleaning and maintenance is done by people who have made it their main focus. Outsourcing services to the right company will save time and money. It will shield you from the added liability and headaches associated with managing additional employees whose duties are outside the scope of normal business. There's something very, very funny, I'll call it funny, which I have come across when we deal with the industry, is that they say, "Itna aadmi nahi hai aaj, shortage hai. Their cleaning barabar nahi hai." If it was so good and we were so very 100% effective, then why wouldn't they do it themselves? Right? Why have they outsourced it? Because it's a major headache for them. And this is something which I told one company. I said, "You're telling us that we accept today at the drop of a hat, manpower disappears. Okay? If I give him 50 rupees more, the manpower will come to me. Right? Or if they have to run away, they will go to their gaon for farming or whatever it is, or they will go to XYZ state back. And we are struggling. Achieve. Because that's something which is looked at for. individual employee, a professional company's entire business reputation hinges on their doing the job right every single time. It's not that we do the job once today and I'm accepted as a very good housekeeping company. Every day the job has to be done the right way. A professional company will employ state-of-the-art cleaning methods, equipment, superior products to make sure you and your employees and customers have a healthy and safe surrounding. They are able to scale up or down the amount of cleaning at the workplace depending on the client's needs, depending on the urgencies, depending on the situations, given situation at any time. Like I said before, if there are major visits, and we do face them. As a sizable facility maintenance company, the employees are cross-trained, so individual absenteeism doesn't affect the facility services. Yes. Which one? The previous slide? That's exactly. That is for the client, the customer. If they are outsourcing the services, if they are not outsourcing and they need more people, they have to go out. They have to get a recruiter to go out and get people to run the business. But when they have outsourced it, I am in charge of the site. They only have to call me up and tell me that there's an extra service required. I arrange for the manpower. So that's a phone call away.
But so, this point is somehow, because I'm in a company, I've hired a service provider.
Yes.
In my company. I have this problem.
Yes.
Okay, there's a shortfall of manpower. The typical training is not given to these associates who are doing cleaning job. So I face this problem almost every 10 days, I would say.
Okay.
Okay. I give them a phone call. This cleaning is not happening. The training is not being happening as per the guidelines.
Right.
You know, but the problem still persists. And I'm facing this for last 1.5 years.
Okay.
So somehow I don't agree with this one. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. I mean, see, it's not a one-way monologue. I fully appreciate what you're saying. But then again, it's a question of how the service provider looks at that business. Are they taking that business for granted? Are they ready to respond? Okay, because we do have these situations. As a company, as Forbes, we do have these situations where the client says, tomorrow there's a visit. We need to get people. We mobilize them. We get them and we go there. Because our reputation is at stake. I cannot afford the CEO of that company calling up my CEO and saying that you all have let us down. So it's a question of how the service provider looks at that company. Do they want to retain that business? Do they feel that they're important enough to provide them that service? Or they are okay with it? And then, yes, I'm sorry, ma'am, we come back to what she said earlier. Change the agency. And if that's the case, I might meet you later. Pardon? It's working. Yeah, but this gentleman has had patience for 1.5 years.
Speaking, it's an MNC company.
No, I mean, see, there's a lot of seriousness. I mean, it's a very, very valid, very strong point that you have mentioned, you have put up, and yes, it's not acceptable. It is definitely not acceptable. We can understand once happening, twice happening, but if you talk of this happening regularly over a period of time, then it tells on your service to your own company. You're accountable. And that's not something which is today easily acceptable in the industry. We'll talk about that point later. Again, I say professionalism. Cleaning services companies employ knowledgeable and well-trained individuals who are responsive, who are well aware of how to clean, maintain different types of production areas. There are different areas which are sensitive, critical, which are open, okay? Different types of problems, different types of people who respond to you. Oh, I would like to share one point. We are doing services with one of our key customers, and they have their services, or rather their tea breaks and lunch, tea breaks, I beg your pardon, at the job. And those people eat and throw their food around the place, which is sad. They throw the plastics across the place. We have collected, our boys have collected those cups of tea, the empty cups, 70 or 80 glasses, not even teacups. So this is not the management's fault, this is the people. Unfortunately, people say in the facility company, you're janitors, but those are most of them are unskilled. They're not knowledgeable. If they were, they wouldn't be in those situations. But they are there because of circumstances. But it's people who are skilled, working on machines, who are doing this. So we have to deal, this is another concern, grave concern area which we have to deal with the clients. And unfortunately, these are one of the problems where the clients are also outsourcing, because they have to deal otherwise with these problems themselves. Safe cleaning methods due to the different types of materials, like Mr. Ramesh has said, professionals know what type of cleaning methods are used. Okay, we also have to keep updated with the new machines which come in, different procedures, different types of chemicals, and how to clean them, how to get best out of them, because we have got to, again, the dosing systems. Mr. Ramesh, we'll be requiring your dosing systems. There are so many things involved in cleaning. It's a lot of science is there in that. It's not just taking a mop, doing a wet mopping. Even that has a skill required. The training, the right training, how to use a mop. Because you use a mop, you can just keep walking with it and you'll have dirt left over there. So there's the art of doing that. They've done proper studies to know the suitable methods to use to wash, scrub, wipe or damp dry specific areas of the plant office depending on the texture. We have talked about floors, hard floors, carpet floors, concrete, epoxy floors, or the sensitivity required. Business focus. Outsourcing cleaning services for a business makes the employee have time to run their own business, engage in revenue bringing activities, instead of having extra worries on their hands. Cleaning companies do regular assessments of the business premise to determine if there is a need to increase cleaning staff capacity, so one does not have to worry about the increase in scope of work. That's your point, sir. Reliability of service. Cleaning services are flexible in terms of manpower and time. Since they have options in terms of staff availability, emergencies, issues that would affect one staff from reporting to duty will not affect the business, since a replacement is always available. This is a reliable way of ensuring that the service goes uninterrupted. Shortfalls. The contract cleaning industry generally has a poor reputation of its own doing. Lack of supervision, running out of cleaning products, poor or little management contact, lack of quality control, lack of health and safety and risk assessment, color coding. Ramesh, color coding, high staff turnover, poorly trained staff. These are just some of the reasons potential clients give us for current dissatisfaction with their service provider and then wanting a change. These results are generally caused by overloading the contract managers. Portfolios, which means instead of being proactive, their days are spent being reactive and firefighting. Very important thing is they cut down. They cut down on manpower because of their cost, and then they say the job is not done. I've been integral in this discussion with many companies. They say cut your costs down. The next thing they look at is manpower. I have one very simple thing to say is I probably can do 2 jobs. Okay? Maybe because I'm paid for it. But can a janitor do that? No. He'll collapse. Or he won't turn up the next day. So this is something which we need to talk to the client and emphasize that we cannot put pressure on them. First of all, we pay them probably just about the minimum wages. That to the clients, many of the clients don't want them to be paid that much. So what happens then? How do we survive? The most easiest thing they do is they say that they are running now at 1 shift, so cut down your manpower. Cut down your cost, cut down consumables. And at the end of the day, there's no profitability. We are struggling to survive. Due to recession, in many industries, the first area to have its budget cut is housekeeping. Am I right on this? Housekeeping, which affects the service provider as if manpower has to be reduced, it unnecessarily puts strain on the janitors who end up absconding from work. Countering hazards in the industry, we have a single window solution, time and motion study. We use a time and motion study. We have specially engineered standard operating procedures, on-site training, internal and external audits, satisfied clients. At the end of the day, it's a win-win situation. We have many of our clients who are there with us for 6-7 years, and they are there with us. Yes, the haggling goes on, the price cutting goes on. I use the soaps, cereal, tutu meme goes on, okay? And at the end of the day, they are with us because of the known devil. Dry cleaning, this applies to areas where no cleaning liquids are used and cleaning is only by vacuum cleaners, dusting cloths, brooms, brushes. Controlled wet cleaning applies to areas that are defined as dry during processing. Although some wet cleaning is permitted, there are many sensitive areas in a plant where you cannot have cross-contamination, especially in food industries. You cannot use machines from one area to another. All these things require very clear-cut discussion prior to taking in contracts, understanding the client's needs. Drying of all surfaces after controlled wet cleaning is essential. We're talking about free fall, slip fall. These are problems which are hazardous. Wet cleaning applies to areas where the entire room or zone is always cleaned wet. The contains equipment's cable trays, ceiling walls are wet washed without restrictions on the amount of cleaning liquid used. We're talking about cost cuttings as far as consumables are concerned, but we have to use that, otherwise we cannot clean. And it'll be unacceptable. All cleaning equipments, including hand tools, brushes, and etc., larger equipments should remain in high risk and be color coded to differentiate between high and low risk equipment if necessary. Special provision should be made for the storage of such equipment when not in use. Very often we find our equipments are misused by the client's people. It's left over there, we don't have storage spaces. They go and they misuse, cut the wires or do anything. I mean, it's unfortunate, but this is the value that they place on their workplace because they damage equipments which we have supplied. And it's unfortunate because it all costs money to repair that. Cleaning chemicals should preferably be stored in a purpose-built area. Efficient, frequent cleaning and disinfection operations are necessary to prevent microbial contamination reaching a high level. Mr. Prashant is not here. I think he's okay. I would like to say one thing very clear. He made a very valid point. He showed us some slides which brought out a major problem we have is the toilet cleaning. I have been involved with chemicals, so I am fully aware of this problem, wherein the drains, the pipelines, they talk about toilets smelling. And it's a fact. You go to any industrial toilet, the office toilets will be good, okay? But the industrial toilets, unfortunately, It could be the ventilation, or most often it's the uric acid which has dried and stuck to the urinal, or emanates from the drain pipes. Because that uric acid, once it solidifies, it sticks to the pipes, the bends and the elbows in the pipes, and the smell comes from there. It's not because the toilet is not clean. No matter however much of chemicals you use, the smell is still going to come back, because unfortunately our noses are very sensitive. I don't have that slide with me, but I could have shown you how fast the nose can smell that foul smell. It's very, very sensitive. So toilet cleaning is one of the major areas where we have, unfortunately, many places, lack of support from the client, which we are trying to change. We ensure that everyone from management to production workers understand sanitation. This is one of the most important points. Management, they are busy with their core activity, which is production. Workers are busy with their core production. They are not bothered about sanitation. Lead to improve sanitation practices and conditions in the plants. Provide a consistent training tool for employees. We follow the 4M at the workplace. This is what Mr. Ramesh earlier mentioned. As it's normally in engineering terms, it's called Sinner cycle. We call it the 4M: machine, material, manpower, and methodology. And of course, at the end, the process. If it is done the right way, you get the right results. There was something which once a German taught us during one of our training sessions. He said, practice makes perfect. Do you all agree with that? Yes. I don't agree. That's right. It's perfect practice that makes perfect. Because I could be practicing something perfectly which is wrong, and I'll say I'm perfect in that. So please, you can carry this home with you. Perfect practice makes perfect. Of course, many of us, if we go home and tell our wives that, won't be accepted. Please avoid it. Our 4-point system for making a difference at the workplace. Study the workplace scientifically and set mutually accepted standards. Train the people to know what and how to deliver these standards. Plan the work and work according to the plan. Measure customer satisfaction. Aim for a minimum of 90% score. We use a scoring sheet to get the customer's feedback. Most of our people always dread that, getting the customer's feedback, because invariably they will not want to score. But we use that as a tool, as a benchmark, to take our levels higher. This is something which we do. It's a time and motion study. We study our people. We have internal ISO trained people who do time and motion study, plan out everything. They check out the frequencies and everything in the plant before we can come up with a proposal and work out the right situation. We have our engineered scope of work or standard operating procedures, the entire charts, the maps, how we go about it for the different areas. Standard operating policies we have, which we follow. And this is not just a slide put up because we follow it. It's audited internally and externally. Because again, I would like to share this with you. As a company, as a corporate company, belonging to the Shapoorji Pallonji group, we cannot let our reputation go down. This is again the job cards which we use at sites. What are the different types of cleaning schedules? On-site training, the different topics. So this is, I think this slide would answer. And it's done rigorously. I am a part of that audit group which checks whether this is done. These are some of the results. Bharat Oman Refinery, Safety Award for Incident-Free Housekeeping. Jhajjar Power Plant, this is in the north again, Safety Award for Incident-Free Housekeeping. Bharat Forge Mundwa, very happy to share with you, they gave us the award as the best service provider this year. This was the first time in the history of Bharat Forge ever done that they have provided an award, and an award of worth 5% of our annual business, which was a tremendous achievement considering Bharat Forge. I'm sure all of you must be aware of Bharat Forge as a company over here, and to please those people is no easy task. Bajaj Motors at Aurangabad and JCB at Talegaon. We have been awarded these places. This result has come by maintaining the systems that we have been following for all these years. These results have been an award for the stringent processes that we have been following. Like I said earlier, internal audits, we have monthly audit checks, monthly MIS reports, external audits to determine the best site, best supervisor, best employee. Again, this is done to motivate people and to ensure that the client sees what is happening. This is how we have a site hierarchy. Unit heads, supervisors, machine operators, janitorial staff. Operational hierarchy, operations head, we have the gentleman sitting out there, Mr. Sudhir Mani. Training module, induction training. We have a 3-day induction training. Believe me, it's very difficult to have our people, the janitors, sitting for 3 days in a training. But we do it. Without that, they don't get paid. I mean, it's not a joke sending them out to a company and like this gentleman. So your name, please? Vijay Shirge, right. You had spoken earlier, you had spoken to. We cannot send them. We cannot get calls coming back saying what type of people you have sent. What type? Kidhar raste se utha ke leke aaya. I mean, they want people, they want good people, they want, I don't know, they have not yet said they want qualified people. But they don't want to pay. So I think we can probably take a pledge to help them to understand our concerns. Internal, external, these are our actions which speak, defined quality and service standards, dedicated quality assurance staff, client satisfaction survey, performance scorecards. The 5S principles of housekeeping, segregation, this is what the clients have to understand. Distinguish necessary, unnecessary items and eliminate unnecessary items. Arrangement enables proper cleaning. Storage systems which help us to clean better. Cleanliness eliminates dirt, dust and foreign matter to make the workplace clean. Maintenance of standards. Combination of organization, order and cleaning as an ongoing program to maintain the workplace. And last but not the least, discipline. To ensure that everyone sticks to the rules scrupulously and makes it a habit. That if we can achieve, it will be wonderful. Oh, this is something why I would ask the customers. Why Forbes? Its lineage, its brand. Forbes facility services as a centric, client-centric, value for money, trained manpower, clarity on accountability and responsibility. As we have the SAP system, everything is clear on paper. Periodic review, and our motto is you manage work, we manage your workplace. Thank you.
Any questions?
So, yeah. Yes.
Unfortunately, we only say in general cleaning. The methodology or the procedure required for cleaning the commodes or the urinal pots or whatever called, it is somehow not existing in any manual.
Yes.
And the second aspect is our training to the lower staff
Yes.
is awfully poor. That is a problem where we need to address seriously.
I have one question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Which company you're from?
I am from an autonomous R&D center.
Okay. Well, there are two things involved in this. First of all, cleaning of the toilets is a specialized job. Not every janitor is ready to do that. Okay? You'll agree. Okay? We have to pay them more. We have to pay them more. The second thing is, if I am training the janitor, I need to know first how to do it. So we have to understand the mechanism of how to train those people first. There's no manual, there's no written manual on how to clean it, but generally there is in housekeeping. There is, as my good friends from JD would talk, there are certain, but those are mostly attributed to the hotel or the hospitality industry, because there you got refined people going to the toilets. Okay, whereas in an industrial environment, I cannot, there are ladies around here, so I cannot demonstrate how people use the urinals. But it was demonstrated to us during a training. It's unfortunate that they misuse it. And like you said, the toilets are not clean. It's not the toilet. The toilet is clean. Again, if you use a chemical, you have to let it rest for some time. Okay? It has to go into the sides of the urinal or the WC. Yes, it has to rest for some time, at least 10 minutes, if I'm right, before you scrub it. The place has to be wetted first. It has to be made wet. Then you apply the chemical, the right chemical. We cannot mix R2 is a toilet cleaner, R6. R6. Okay, people try to compromise, they use 2-3 chemicals. Okay. Use R6 less because it's costly, but use some other chemical because it's cheap, and then try to get the best out of it. It doesn't happen that way, sir. It has to be made wet. The chemical has to be applied. It has to be kept for 10 minutes at the most, and then scrubbed and then rinsed. That is the process. But if one man has to do, let's say a toilet, a urinal bowl to clean will take at least 15 minutes the right way. If that one boy, janitor, because we are talking about cost cutting, if we have one janitor trying to clean 20 urine bowls, what is he going to do?
Shortcuts.
There will be no cuts, so he skips.
Yeah, of course.
He skips, he is human.
No, it's practically not possible.
That's right, ma'am.
Practically not possible.
It is possible with right machines.
It's possible with the right machine. Again, that's my good friend from Kacha, yes.
But that's a fact. That's exactly why we say you have to have professional cleaners.
It is possible.
A janitor can wash 10 bowls in 5 minutes.
Absolutely right.
And any janitor.
Any janitor. Any janitor.
Let's say a trained janitor.
Yes.
I think this
So
gentleman.
what we do is we cut on the investment on machines, try to do it manually, and then we get it proper.
See, we come back to one very basic thing. If I say I need this many high pressures to a client in a contract, I'm just talking about high pressure. But when we talk, let's say, Salil will know very well. If we talk about cleaning as it is, a cleaning scrubbing machine, there's a cleaning job, theoretically 2100 meters square per hour. Actual productive will be 1000 square meters per hour. That's 10,000 square feet. The client wants us to do maybe 50,000 square feet in 2 hours. Is it possible? So what happens? The cost, I have to use 2 machines or 3 machines. The contract doesn't permit me to put 3 machines. So what do? I bring it down. I utilize that machine for 8-10 hours, and then Salil will be getting calls that the machines are broken down. Girish Pandey from there, my friend, will get a call. Arey, kya machine diya yaar? Ye breakdown ho gaya. Poor machine. Now, these.
Actually, that's the reason why we are sitting in this forum.
Yes.
To actually understand the needs of the client, you as a service provider also trying to put forward the views that what is the correct combination.
That's
what you have mentioned over there on the manpower, on the machines, on the material, and on your methodologies. All those 4 make a combination. It can't be without that.
I mentioned in the earlier slide, you might have missed it, wherein we had mentioned that we need to understand their problems.
Right, absolutely.
We have to survey. There's no shortcut in that. There's no compromise in that. You've got to survey and give them the right solution. The moment we compromise on that, then we are nowhere. 1 month, you'll get your money or you won't get your money. 2nd month, you won't get your money. 3rd month, you'll be saying, bahut ho gaya. So this is what we face.
I think we have one more question.
So-
Savio, this is Venkat from TCS.
Yes, sir.
What percentage of your staff does an attrition rate?
What percentage of my staff? So, it's a sensitive issue. Very sensitive. I'm still there in the company.
Not you.
No, we do have a high attrition rate. We do have a high percentages. I will not be able to really give you very honestly, but it's high. But we have backup staff, and we keep them.
The reason I asked is you said replacement will be available on a phone call basis. So that's important for us.
We mobilize. We mobilize because we can't tell the client, no sir, we can't do anything. Our area heads, unit heads, or the project executives, they go there during the night if there's a service, if there's a visit the next day, a high sensitive visit, they're there the whole night. They come back in the morning, they go for a short break, go back over there to the site, and they are there to ensure that the visit goes smooth. And like I said, Bharat Forge, one of our most sensitive sites.
Yeah, the follow-up question is, since you are OSHA's compliant, we would like to know who are your external auditors and do you share audit reports with the clients?
Sudhir Mani, my colleague.
Yes, sir. We do share with our clients, but that too was the request. Because I think you must have seen it. In one state, we were actually talking about finance and all. We as a service provider, we go to our clients and we help them in this finance. And since we are already ISO and OSHA certified, in some cases, you want me to stop?
I said, yes, we do provide, but that too on request, sir. Because as a cleaning partner, as a facility management partner, we are a part of it whenever they are going to be certified on this. And since we are already certified, so we help them with the procedure also.